Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba has redefined the boundaries of anime excellence, from its gripping storyline to its unique power system and terrifying array of villains. This will be a long timeline video, but before we dive in, remember to subscribe if you're new and hit the notification bell to stay updated on my latest content. In this video, we'll cover every major milestone in Demon Slayer, including side stories involving Tomioka and Kyojuro. Let's explore the entire story of Demon Slayer in chronological order. Starting in the Heian period, specifically around the 900s, Muzan Kibutsuji is born into the clan that would later become the Ubuyashiki family, likely in the ancient capital of Heian-kyo, now Kyoto. This suggests he came from a noble lineage. Muzan grew up frail and arrogant, viewing others as mere insects. From his human days to shortly after becoming a demon, his 5 wives committed suicide due to his cruel words. A doctor living near Mount Kumatori in the Kanto region used blue spider lilies growing there to create a medicine in an attempt to cure Muzan. Believing it ineffective, Muzan killed the doctor mid-treatment. Later, the drug worked but left him unable to walk in sunlight. He never truly craved blood. His real irritation was the sun as his sole weakness. For the Ubuyashiki clan, it's said they carry a curse, a fatal illness that stems from Muzan, fueling their determination to eradicate him once and for all. The next major leap in the timeline occurs between 1180 and 1185, marking the end of the Heian period and the start of the Genpei War. This conflict plunged Kyoto and much of Japan into violence. Over the centuries, power shifted from Kyoto to Kanto. At some point, Muzan relocated to Kanto, possibly in search of the blue spider lily, or perhaps because he preferred proximity to those in power. Demon Slayer Corps members at this time didn't use breathing techniques and fought with whatever methods they could. Eventually, they adopted Nichiren swords, as the ore absorbs sunlight. Though their sword forms reference the basic breathing styles we'd recognize later, they hadn't yet developed the techniques. The Demon Slayer Corps was formally established during these years, introducing the Hashira system. Muzan focused solely on finding the blue spider lily. Nearly 300 years later, 2 game-changing figures enter the Demon Slayer world, the births of Yoriichi and Michikatsu Tsugikuni in 1460. The Onin War raged from 1467 to 1477, plunging Japan into the Sengoku period. During this chaotic era, key events unfolded in the twins' childhood. In the early 1460s, the twins were born into the Tsugikuni clan, where twins were seen as ill omens. Their father, fearing succession disputes, planned to kill the second-born with a flame-shaped birthmark before he turned 2 to avert tragedy. But their usually quiet mother, Akeno, intervened. She named the child Yoriichi to value relationships, while their father named the elder Michikatsu to prioritize victory. The boys were raised separately as Akeno's left-side illness worsened. Michikatsu pitied Yoriichi, bringing him fruit and a handmade flute that didn't play well. For years, Yoriichi stayed silent to avoid upsetting his father, leading others to think he was deaf. At 7, Akeno gave him earrings and prayed to a sun god to open his ears. He spoke his first words, revealing he could hear. Michikatsu was beaten by their father for playing with Yoriichi, sparking fierce arguments between their parents. Still at 7, Yoriichi watched Michikatsu's sword lessons and was allowed to spar with a master swordsman, whom he defeated effortlessly despite no prior experience. Yoriichi had little interest in swordsmanship, but explained his transparent world vision to Michikatsu, igniting his brother's envy. By 1470, their father favored Yoriichi as heir, swapping their positions. Michikatsu was now destined for the temple as a monk. However, at 8, their mother Akeno died at 24. Yoriichi then bid farewell to his brother and fled home, ostensibly to the temple, out of love for Michikatsu, who he knew wanted the heirship. Despite his extraordinary talent, Yoriichi left to let Michikatsu shine. Their father, deeply in love with Akeno, became distraught upon learning of her hidden illness. Honoring her wish for equal upbringing, he reformed and searched the temple for Yoriichi, but found nothing. From Michikatsu's view, their father desperately wanted Yoriichi back to lead with strength. That same year, far from home, Yoriichi encountered an orphaned girl gazing over a rice field. Approaching, he asked what she was doing. She replied that her family died in a plague and she was catching tadpoles for company. Releasing them, she explained she'd feel guilty separating them from their family. Yoriichi offered, "Then let me come home with you." Tears streaming, she turned, and Yoriichi compared her eyes to iridescent shells. Her name was Uta, and that's when Yoriichi began living with her. He noted she talked from night to day, helping him understand different perspectives and that his transparent world was unique. 10 years later, in 1480, at 18, Yoriichi and Uta married. In her final month of pregnancy, Yoriichi left to fetch a midwife, but encountered an old man struggling over mountains to visit his war-injured son. Yoriichi helped him, delaying the midwife. Returning home, he found Uta and their unborn child brutally slain by a demon, her body bloodied. Yoriichi cradled her corpse for 10 days until the Rengoku clan's ancestor appeared, advising proper burial to honor their souls. Realizing who was responsible, Yoriichi joined the Demon Slayer Corps. No one knew breathing techniques then, but the Hashira were exceptional. Yoriichi tried teaching sun breathing, which he mastered, but it proved too difficult, leading to variants like wind, mist, flame, and others, birthing the elemental breaths. The next time frame is around 1480, when Yoriichi saved Michikatsu's group from a wandering demon that easily killed his entire squad. With one slash, Yoriichi defeated it. Michikatsu abandoned his family to become a demon slayer, driven by envy to surpass his brother. He created moon breathing but resented failing to master sun breathing. Eventually, Michikatsu gained the Demon Slayer mark like other Hashira, at the cost of shortened lives. During the 1480s, a familiar couple appears, Sumiyoshi and Suyako Kamado. Their story begins as the newlyweds stumble upon Yoriichi's old home on Mount Kumatori and move in. While there, they rescued many mountain travelers, refusing payment for their kindness. Instead, people rebuilt their home. A key reason was saving a lord's wife and son during a succession dispute, hiding them on the mountain. Their generosity was repaid with a renovated house, but a fate similar to Yoriichi's loomed. The Kamados were attacked by a demon while Suyako was heavily pregnant. That day, Yoriichi passed his old home, visiting Uta's grave. He saved them, slew the demon, and fetched a midwife. Their son, Sumiyoshi, was born the next day. Sumiyoshi vowed to tell future generations about Yoriichi, but Yoriichi sternly said he saved no one and wasn't special, then vanished. 2 years after Yoriichi's first visit to Sumiyoshi and Suyako, Michikatsu, desperate to outlive his pursuit of strength against Yoriichi, knew his mark left him little time. He sought the demon king Muzan, offering eternal life to master his skills and one day surpass Yoriichi. Michikatsu accepted, becoming Kokushibo as we know him. Greed for ultimate strength drove him to demonhood. Shortly after Michikatsu's transformation, unknown to Yoriichi, around 1485, Muzan was accompanied by Tamayo. Encountering Muzan, Yoriichi sensed his malice like boiling magma from a volcano ready to erupt. He realized he was born with the skills to end Muzan forever. Muzan declared disinterest in breathing technique swordsmen and unleashed long-range slashes to kill Yoriichi instantly. He dodged, realizing any hit was fatal. For the first time, Yoriichi felt fear surge through him. Peering into the transparent world, he saw Muzan had 7 hearts and 5 brains shifting positions. Seizing his chance, Yoriichi combined all his forms into one strike, slashing through them all and overwhelming Muzan. Muzan couldn't regenerate while holding his head on. Yoriichi asked what he valued in life but got no answer. Turning to Tamayo, he was surprised to see hope in her eyes as she approached to finish Muzan. Instead, Yoriichi heard grinding teeth as Muzan's body exploded into hundreds of pieces. Caught off guard, he destroyed only 1,500 of 1,800, allowing the rest to escape for Muzan to regenerate. Though Yoriichi failed to kill him, Muzan never forgot the encounter and feared him lifelong. Immediately after, Hashira rushed to Yoriichi, informing him his brother became a demon. Many urged seppuku for letting Tamayo and Muzan escape and his brother's fall. But the Ubuyashiki head, a 6-year-old, prevented it, exiling Yoriichi from the Corps and tasking him to kill his brother. Post-exile, Yoriichi visited Sumiyoshi one autumn to share his life story. After, he received a flower from Sumiyoshi's child and, at Suyako's request, performed sun-breathing. Sumiyoshi memorized it by observation and promised to pass it down. Yoriichi left his mother's earrings, keeping Michikatsu's toy flute and a scrap from Uta's kimono. About 65 years later, in 1545, Yoriichi, at 80, finally found Kokushibo. This puzzled Kokushibo, as mark-bearers usually die at 25, yet Yoriichi surpassed that barrier. Kokushibo ranked Upper Moon 1 Muzan's strongest demon. Yoriichi knew he must kill his brother. With one slash, 80-year-old Yoriichi sliced Kokushibo's throat, panicking him into thinking he might die. Kokushibo awaited the next strike, but Yoriichi died standing of old age. Only Yoriichi's final days saved Kokushibo. Enraged that his fair fight chance was gone, and the man who nearly killed Muzan and him was forever undefeated, Kokushibo slashed his brother's corpse, only to find the flute he'd given his children. Unable to sever ties, Kokushibo kept the broken flute. In 1690, Hakuji, known as Upper Moon 3 Akaza, is born in Edo's slums, now Tokyo. In the early 1700s, Upper Moon 4 Hantengu is born. Though his human name is unknown, he becomes a delusional criminal in later years. 11 years later, in the 1700s, 11-year-old Hakuji commits petty crimes to care for his ailing father, whom he adores, but they can't afford medicine. Hakuji pickpockets townsfolk but gets caught 3 times. The magistrate beats him, tattoos him, threatens to cut off his hands next time, and calls him a demon child. Returning after the 3rd beating, a villager informs him his father, upon hearing of his arrest, hanged himself. In his letter, he wanted Hakuji to live fully without ill-gotten medicine. Tattooed and homeless, Hakuji is exiled from Edo. Grieving his father and raging at society for denying medicine, he picks fights and beats people. One day, after nearly killing 7 adult men in a village, he's approached by Kizo, a local dojo master. Annoyed by the man's cheer, Hakuji challenges him but is easily defeated. Keizo takes him in, assigning him to care for his sickly daughter Koyuki, whose mother, her previous caregiver, died. Keizo does odd jobs to survive. Hakuji, familiar with caregiving from his father, adapts despite awkwardness when she cries suddenly. Once, he indirectly encouraged her by saying there'd be another year for the local fireworks. One day, he discovers Koyuki was forced outside and abandoned by the heir of a rival kendo dojo, who wanted Keizo's land and prevented students before Hakuji. Enraged, Keizo and Hakuji fight the dojo. After defeating 9, Hakuji makes them promise to stay away from Soryu Dojo or Koyuki. The rival heir swings a sword at Hakuji, who uses his bell-breaking technique to punch and shatter the blade's edge. The other members, moved by the technique's beauty, accept defeat and apologize for their heir's rudeness. Around 1707, as Akaza and Koyuki grow close and the dojo gains students, Keizo offers Hakuji to take over and marry Koyuki. Now 18, Hakuji vows to protect them even at life's cost. At a festival, Koyuki shares her past, asking if he truly accepts the proposal. He reaffirms, promising lifelong protection. The rival heir hears of Hakuji's marriage to Koyuki, rallies angry disciples, and challenges him, but loses. Tragically, victory is short-lived. Hakuji visits his father's grave to share marriage news but senses trouble upon return. A student informs him the rival dojo poisoned the well Koyuki and Keizo drank from. They died while Hakuji was away. That year, 1707, Hakuji storms the rival dojo and slays all 67 members barehanded, mangling them beyond recognition. This shocks Demon King Muzan, excited thinking a demon caused the chaos, but discovers a mere human did it. He turns Hakuji into a demon, birthing Upper Moon 3 Akaza into the 12 Kizuki. A few years later, between 1715 and 1720, we meet Hantengu around 15 to 20. Throughout adulthood, Hantengu commits heinous crimes, stealing from innocents and murdering others across towns. Always claiming innocence, once blaming his hands alone, hinting at mental instability and delusions. He married multiple times, had children, but delusionally believed mistreatment and killed many wives and kids in retaliation. Captured by a high-ranking magistrate, he's sentenced to beheading. Despite bizarre innocence claims, silenced by threats to sever his sinful hands, he awaits execution. Muzan approaches, pities his plight, and offers blood, turning him demonic. Nearly 40 years later, in 1763, current Upper Moon 2 Doma is born. Doma may be his human name, carried into demonhood. Born to exploitative parents, his extraordinary features, rainbow eyes and pale hair, made people deem him special, believing he communed with gods. His parents, whom he saw as utterly foolish, seated him as leader of their founded cult, Paradise Faith. Resenting their low intelligence, he played along. Yet he never heard God's voices. In an ornate room as cult leader, Doma met countless people, aiding their sufferings, which he found boring and baffling, wondering why they'd seek a child's help. They begged for paradise, making Doma cry as he never believed in heaven, gods, or Buddha, mere human fantasies to him. Emotionally apathetic, unable to grasp human feelings, when young, his mother snapped and stabbed his father for cheating with female followers, then poisoned herself. Despite this horror before his eyes, Doma only annoyed at the bloody mess and blood stench, wanting to air the room before it stained furnishings. 9 years later, in 1777, Daki and Gyutaro are born. Daki's human name Ume, Gyutaro's unchanged. Born in Rashomon of the entertainment district, the lowest tier where sick or retired courtesans were sent to die. Their father is unmentioned, likely a client's. Gyutaro notes their mother was severely mentally ill, likely from harsh conditions, attempting suicide and killing her son multiple times. Between 1780 and 1800, Nakim and Gyoko are born. 20 years after Doma's birth, in 1783, 20-year-old Doma seeks Muzan, who turns him demonic. Doma continues leading the cult with a new mission, helping people to paradise by eating followers. To him, heaven and pain's end lay in consumption. Death by him freed suffering. He pursues this twisted ambition lifelong. Between 1785 and 1790, we learn more of Daki and Gyutaro's past. Gyutaro born earlier than Daki amid district filth, enduring severe abuse. Deemed ugly, he's mocked for appearance, voice, and hygiene. Penniless and starving, he ate bugs and rats killed with his soul toy, a sickle left by a client. When Sister is born, he gains pride, becoming her collector in the district. Ume, opposite Gyutaro, is deemed stunningly beautiful, moved to a high-class brothel. Paid handsomely for looks alone, Gyutaro collects and pays debts, hoping for better lives. In 1790, everything changes for Gyutaro and Ume. One night, a client insults Gyutaro before Ume. Enraged, she stabs his eye with a hairpin. Furious, the brothel owner and samurai tie and burn alive. Gyutaro searches, finding her charred body. In rage, he slays both with sickles and carries her body seeking help. They encounter then Upper Moon 6 Doma, who pities and turns them demonic, birthing sibling demons Daki and Gyutaro. For those wondering Doma's district presence, simply eating women, sending them to paradise. Moving to the early 1800s, pasts of Nakime and Gyoko as humans. Starting with Nakimi, an obscure biwa musician struggling financially. Her husband, hopelessly gambling addicted, squanders her earnings without contributing. One night, scheduled to perform, she finds he stole and sold her performance kimono for bets. Enraged, Nakimi kills him with a hammer. Realizing her gig nears, she wears a tattered kimono, rushing on stage. The crowd disdains her shabby look. Traumatized by her first murder, her hands shake anxiously while playing. Surprisingly, the tense, extreme playing produces exquisite sounds. The audience loves it, demanding encores. Patrons and venue pleased, she's paid handsomely. Thenceforth, Nakime develops a disturbing habit, murdering before performances. Oddly, post-murder plays receive extraordinary praise. On a fateful day, scheduled elsewhere, she targets someone, but it's Kibutsuji Muzan. Impressed by her skills, he spares her, offering demonhood. Nakime accepts, rising ranks to Muzan's top subordinate. Next, former Upper Moon 5 Gyoko. His past reveals his twisted nature. Human name Manaji, born in a coastal fishing village. As a child, his parents drowned at sea fishing, bodies washing ashore mangled. Seeing them, Manaji developed a bizarre fascination with corpses. Villagers often saw him obsessing over dead fish, shunning him as mad. Eventually, a child teases him for odd behavior. Manaji kills and stuffs the body in a fishing pot. Parents discover, blame Manaji, spear him with a barbed harpoon, leaving him to die. For 12 hours, he clings to life until Kibutsuji Muzan finds and turns him demonic. These years span 1840-1850. During this, Jigoro Kuwajima, Zenitsu's master and former Thunder Hashira, and Sakonji Urokodaki, Tanjiro and Tomioka's master and former Water Hashira, are born. A decade later, in the 1860s, Shinjuro Rengoku is born. Next, on August 23, 1889, Gyomei Himejima is born. Little known of his parents except he's orphaned, living in a temple. 3 years later, in 1892, Kagaya Ubuyashiki is born, the core leader until Demon Slayer's end, assembling current Hashira to decide the world's fate. Same year, October 31st, Tenjin Uzui is born into a 9-child shinobi clan. 3 die before 10 from harsh training. 2 years later, May 8, 1894, Water Hashira Giyu Tomioka is born. Little known of parents, but he grows up with his sister. Months later, July 15, 1894, Obanai Iguro is born into a thieving clan living off victims killed by their worshipped demon. 2 months later, November 21, 1894, Wind Hashira Sanami Shinazugawa is born, eldest of 7 with both parents. This year's date unclear, but marks former flower Hashira Kanai Kocho's birth into a wealthy family, living privileged with her sister. 1 year later, October 10, 1895, Ruka Rengoku births Kyojuro Rengoku, Flame Hashira's firstborn. However, she dies of illness years later. Kyojuro trains with brother Senjuro. In 1896, at 4, Kagaya becomes core leader as his father dies from the cursed illness, common in Ubuyashiki with leaders growing younger. June 3, 1896, Love Hashira Mitsuri. Kanroji is born among 5 siblings, unusually strong from infancy, eating more than average, hair colored from excess sakura mochi. 1 year later, May 24, 1897, the Kocho family adds Shinobu Kocho, succeeding her sister as Insect Hashira. 2 years later, May 7, 1899, Sanemi gains a sibling, Genya Shinazugawa. Months later, October 19, 1899, Kanao Tsuyuri is born into extreme poverty, abused by parents alongside siblings. 2 months later, December 14, 1899, protagonist Tanjiro Kamado is born, eldest of 6 to coal-selling parents. As eldest, he believes he must endure hardships for his siblings' ease. Again, months later, September 1899, Thunderboy Zenitsu Agatsuma is born. However, not raised by parents, unclear who cared for him early. 1 year later, April 22, 1900, Inosuke Hashibira is born to an abusive father. His mother seeks help from a cult leader she thinks protective, until discovering he's Demon Doma. She flees, throwing Inosuke off a cliff. He survives, raised by boars. Again, 1 year later, August 8, 1901, twins Muichiro and Yuichiro Tokido are born. Their father, a woodcutter, they live on mountains with parents. In 1906, Obanai Iguro's tragic past begins. Born into a thieving, demon-worshipping clan of mostly women, male births rare after 370 years, Obanai spends early years caged, overfed lavish meals until sickened by smells and poor ventilation. The snake demon favors him as a rare male, slithering around his cage at night, staring in darkness, terrifying Obanai sleepless until sounds fade. At 12, first allowed out, he's led to a lavish shrine-like room, facing the demon, trembling at its appearance, realizing it's what stalked him nightly. The demon deems him small, deciding to wait until larger to eat, ordering his mouth slit ear to ear to resemble it, liking him. His blood collected in a cup, drunk. Recaged with bandaged wound, Obanai obsesses over escape and survival, realizing his fate. He scratches at bars nightly with a stolen hairpin, unnoticed. In constant anxiety, fearing discovery by demon or family. His sole comfort, a small snake that entered his cage, becoming friend Kabura Maru. Eventually, Obanai removes a bar, escaping at night. Pursued by the snake demon, nearly caught and killed, until Flame Hashira Shinjuro Rengoku rescues him. The demon slays nearly all 50 relatives. Sole survivor, his cousin, also saved by Hashira. Reunited, she rejects him, attacking viciously, blaming him for their deaths due to his escape, screaming he should have let it eat him. Her harsh words and self-loathing for his clan's evils and their deaths for his freedom drive Obanai to join the Corps, channeling rage at demons. Believing risking life for others might make him better, easing guilt. Yet he feels his deceased family drags him down despite good deeds, self-hatred haunting daily. Same year, 1906, Sanemi's tragic past unfolds. One day his mother doesn't return, Sanemi searches. Finding her demonized, he can't stop her returning home, killing 5 siblings. Before she kills Genya, Sanemi tackles her through a window with a knife. In the fight, she scars his face. His Marechi blood disorients demons like alcohol, giving him a chance to fell her. Genya, seeking doctors for injured siblings, sees Sanemi over their mother's corpse. Panicked, unaware the wolf attacker was their demonized mother, Genya accuses Sanemi of murder. Shocked and partially blinded as she disintegrates in sunlight, Sanemi abandons Genya. 1 year later, 1907, Himejima's past is revealed. Before Demon Slayer and Hashira, he lived with 9 orphaned children in a temple. The area prone to demon attacks, Guillaume burns wisteria incense to repel them. One night, one child disobeys, venturing beyond boundaries. Immediately confronted by a demon, the boy saves himself by directing it to eat the others and Guillaume. At dusk, he invites it in after extinguishing incense. 4 children killed instantly, remaining insist fleeing, ignoring Himejima's orders. His frail build and blindness fuel their doubt in his protection, leading them to abandon him, ultimately slain. Only the youngest listens, staying in fear. Though unclear, Himejima is slashed on the forehead but reverses, relentlessly attacking. Realizing terrifying strength, he pummels the demon's head until sunrise. Arriving villagers mishear the child's, "That man's a monster! He killed everyone!" as referring to Himejima, not the demon. Imprisoned, accused of killing 7 children, until Ubuyashiki intervenes, freeing him pre-execution. Himejima joins the Corps, becoming Stone Hashira in 2 months. Same year, 1907, Tengenuzui's true past. Born into 9-child shinobi clan, 3 die before 10 from brutal training. Remaining 6 forced to kill each other masked per father's orders, unknowing opponents. Tenjin realizes after killing 2 brothers. By 15, 7 siblings dead, only he and 2 years younger brother remain. As children, father imposed harsh training, instilling sacrifice innocence for self-benefit, viewing wives as childbearers. When surviving brother embraces this guiltlessly, Tenjin, horrified, leaves clan forever without fighting brother. Uzui family practices polygamy. At 15, Tenjin assigned 3 wives by clan head. Leaving village with wives, he later teaches them self-worth. Post-departure, he habitually says he'll go to hell but stops after Makio's anger, Hinatsuru's tears, Suma's bite. Agonized whether to destroy Uzui clan but can't kill father or brother alone. Another 1907 backstory, Giyu Tomioka's. Giyu grows with sister Tsutako. Young, she sacrifices to protect him from demons. After, Giyu tells others a demon killed her but is deemed mentally ill, sent to relatives, a doctor. Escaping en route, nearly dies on mountain but saved, apprenticed under Sakonji Urokadaki. At 13, meets Sabado during training. They bond over similar pasts and ages. Together, they enter final selection on Mount Fujikasan. Giyu injured by demon attack. Sabito saves him, defeating nearly all demons. After a week, revealed Sabito Soleil's death in their selection. 3 years later, 1910, Tenjin Uzui becomes Sound Hashira, rising Corps' ranks before Sanemi, while Kanai a member. 1 year later, 1911, Kanao Tsuyuri's passed. Parents extremely abusive, beating and drowning her and siblings for displeasing acts, even crying or pain sounds punished. She recalls mourning finding siblings' cold bodies, implying death from prior beating. Traumatized, she becomes empty shell, eventually sold as slave. Led tied by rope, approached by Kocho sisters. Confirming slavery, Shinobu tosses money in air distracting man. He drops rope, sisters flee with Kanao to Butterfly Mansion. Soon discover her trauma extent, Shinobu deems her useless if dangerous. Kanai gives Kanao a coin, instructing flips for decisions. Tragically, same year, Kanai Kocho's death. Encountering Upper Moon, to Doma, severely wounded but he flees rising sun before eating her. Dying in Shinobu's arms, she urges quitting Corps for normal life. Shinobu vows revenge. With last strength, Kanai describes Doma before succumbing. In 1912, before that, Muichiro and Yuichiro lose both parents. Mother dies of illness, father falls off Cliff Winter Mountains fetching medicine. Orphans survive together, Muichiro embodying father's kind, selfless nature, contrasting Yuichiro's cold, apathetic view. Next spring, Kagaya Ubuyashiki's wife Amane recruits twins to Corps. Muichiro's excitement opposed by Yuichiro's unwelcoming refusal. In anger, Yuichiro blames parents' deaths on hardworking selflessness, adopting coldness to survive with brother. Amon persists visiting. Yuichiro drives her away each time. Next summer, 11-year-old twins' cabin attacked by demon at night. Yuichiro loses left arm protecting Muichiro. As demon mocks uselessness, Muichiro rages, slaying it with all tools available. Muichiro loses memories, abandons old life for Corps. With outstanding strength and grueling training, he rises to Hashira in 2 months. Memory loss, he adopts brother's personality, distant, indifferent. Yet deep rage drives demon hunts. In Corps, meets Kyojuro Rengoku, urging full effort as fellow Hashira. Also befriends swordsmith Tekken, empathetic to his harsh circumstances. Shifting to Tomioka's side story, around 1912 to 1913. Story opens with Giyu facing a demon clutching a woman it's eating. Demon begs mercy. Giyu draws Nichiren's sword, saying please feudal. Terrified, demon drops body, retreats, vowing no more human eating. Giyu swiftly beheads with water breathing. First form, water surface slash. Sheathing, his crow flies overhead, directing to snowy mountains investigating recent deaths by demon. Meanwhile, at northern Post Town, Shinobu Kocho chats with elderly woman about non-hibernating bear eating Matagi hunters from their village. Shinobu notes tense air. Woman urges return, but Hashira explains she's free now, handling man-eating bear-fits duties. Shinobu asks more about bear, but Scream interrupts. Village man scolds girl for mountain venturing alone. She retorts not alone with dog Taro. Shinobu inquires. Woman explains girl's Iya, daughter of Matagi Matazo. Girl seemingly witnessed father and friend's deaths by rumored bear, since venturing to avenge. Shinobu notes gun on Iya's back. Man grabs it from behind. Aya spins, yelling don't touch, elbowing, blocked by man. Tomioka. He introduces as Demon Slayer Corps, asking what she knows of village-haunting demon. Confused, villagers whisper bear, not demon. One asks if police. Tomioka says Demon Slayer. They ask about sword. He unsheathes, places down, reintroduces. Worried, villagers debate calling police. One mentions resemblance to Cole family murder suspect in Haori. Horrified, villager points gun at Tomioka, others rope to bind. Shinobu approaches, pokes Tomioka's arm, exclaiming coincidence meeting here. Happy, she notes his poor communication, offers explain. Tomioka says he can handle. As villagers bind, Iya speaks she doesn't know what he wants but collapses mid-sentence. Shinobu checks, says fever, asks Tomioka help. He snaps ropes, asks if short. She replies demon slaying her job too. Unconscious, Iya dreams childhood, playing outside with dog while father and another discuss her Matagi desire. Matazo says he told her hunting's game, no female Matagi known. Man suggests loneliness, no playmates. She wants father's side, understand feelings. Matazo exits, tells Iya he'll take gun if mishandled. Iya beams. Flashback ends to another. Iya finds family friends slain. Gasping how, why, looks up seeing someone eating one, calling father. Eyes meet but she sees man eating bear. Iya wakes in drugstore across village. Eyes open to Shinobu close, blushing screams. Iya backs, clutching gun. Shinobu chuckles. Don't shoot me. Explains location, half-day unconscious, offers herbal medicine, says can't avenge in current state. Aya takes, wonders contents. Shinobu urges drink. Next room, Tomioka with Taro. Pets but dog bites arm, won't release despite panicked shaking. As they struggle, Aya calls stop, apologizes. Taro usually friendly. Shinobu says no worry, Tomioka's that type. Shinobu tends Iya, condolences father's loss, asks incident. Explains attacker possibly demon. Tomioka, Taro attached, interrupts. He'll explain. Shinobu notes attack. After protests, she makes him back off. Iya-Shinobu chat continues. After recounting bear, Iya questions. What are demons? Demon slayers? Shinobu explains basics. Regeneration, strength, longevity, kill methods, sunlight, decapitation with Nichiren, course purges demons. Iya asks if they massacre demons. Shinobu says don't phrase as executing people, just removing evil demons. Shinobu suggests maybe mistake, attacker truly bear, but offers with Tomioka hunt it. Aya says as Matagi she'll avenge alone. Prepares leave, thanks Shinobu, ignores rest plea. At door, Tomioka blocks, advises no night wandering. Aya snaps no demons around, fine for Matagi to fell harmful beast. Tomioka asks why mountain revenge, hiding something. Aya yells annoying, pushes past. Before leaving, Tomioka says he's never seen a demon revert to human. As Iya and Taro venture snowy mountains, bowing at stick pile once her home, Shinobu discusses case with Tomioka through wall. Mentions bears losing dens, unable hibernate, pitiful creatures lacking home family, wandering nights. Opens door in core uniform says ignoring girl means no salvation. Meanwhile, Aya urges Taro follow scent, pets encouraging despite cold. Recalls father teaching Matagi skills. Beside felled bear, he says waste no part, each blessing from mountains. As Matagi, live off gifts, kill, so live. Flashback ends, Taro barks, runs ahead. Aya calls, sees something fly back, land in snow. Horrified, Taro's severed head. Cresting hill sees figure. Instantly knows it's her father, now demon over Taro. Ready's gun. Recalls father's shooting lessons positions. Thinks hoped mistake, lied about father as man-eating bear. Taro's death overflows. Iya fires, blasts father's head. As demon regenerates charges. Wonders how he became demon. Why kill everyone? Aiming asks why flee home like running away. Father pounces, pins, she wedges gun in mouth. Thinks she'll shoot if can't revert. Crying aloud, why not eat her too? Demon mumbles, suddenly tackled from behind. Tomioka swings at demon, who leaps off. Arm severed. Stands between Iya and demon. Shinobu behind, whispers coincidence. Iya recalls first hunt. Father helped but said last time, learn alone. Cheerfully, she knows, quotes his words, kill, so live. He nods. Back present, father demon, missing left arm foot, struggles toward Iya and Hashira in harsh snow. Iya, horrified, Tomioka tells Shinobu care for her, advances. Shinobu cheerily asks sure, offers poison kill, draws sword. Engraved blade terrifies Aya, begs wait. Shinobu astonished. Tomioka asks what's now, says she knows demon not father anymore. Demon regenerates limbs, Tomioka charges to end. Attacking water Hashira, demon sprouts bone projectile, throws. Tomioka shatters with blade parry. Distraction. Demon closes, stabs with bone spike from arm. Tomioka dodges. Iya horrified, disappointed as he beheads father with water breathing. Fourth form. Striking tide, killing him. Severed head mumbles final moments. Tomioka puzzled but declares over. Shinobu worriedly eyes Iya. Girl repeats, aims gun at throat. Tomioka calls, rushes protect. Shinobu fears too late. Miraculously gun jams. Shinobu tackles before trigger. Iya cries, why not let? Shinobu pain sad. Crying lost everything, including home. Says slayers understand nothing, leave alone. Tomioka approaches, says father's last words likely for her, simply live. Still crying, confused, Aya smiles weakly, utters before Tomioka's words, says he ignores her demon rants as irrelevant. Tomioka leaves, Shinobu calls, but he trudges, reminds their Hashira. Disapproving, unable abandon without comfort, Shinobu tells endure emotions. That's how survivors press on. As Hashira leave, snow stops. Aya views serene scene, picks gun, notices blood on trigger. Realizes father's froze it, preventing prior suicide. As sun rises, blood melts. In light, Iya smiles, pondering father's words via Tomioka. Hugging gun, watches dawn. Meanwhile, Tomioka recalls training with Urokodaki. Don't waver. Water breathing adapts to any attack. Master it with heart steady as reflecting water. At eatery with Shinobu, she notes change, thought him cold to core but senses care for Iya in parting words, offers confide. Around 1912-1913, Sanemi becomes Wind Hashira. After leaving Genya, Sanemi wanders hunting demons. Meets legitimate slayer Masachika Kumeno, who helps, introduces proper trainer. Post-training, they team to defeat then Lower Moon 1. Kumeno dies, Sanemi promoted to Wind Hashira. At promotion, Himejima, Tengen, Tomioka, already Hashira. Bitter over Kumeno's death, Sanemi lashes at Kagaya for cheerfully ordering from above while slayers bleed/die. Surprisingly, Kagaya graciously accepts criticism before naming Kumeno. Ubuyashiki memorizes every fallen slayer's name, background since leading. This, plus Kumeno's will from Ubuyashiki, earns Sanemi new respect. Fellow Hashira reprimand, Tomioka watches afar. Now 1913, between February 2nd and October, tragedy strikes Kamado family. Snowy morning, Tanjiro prepares town for New Year's coal sales. Siblings Hanako and Shigeru beg join. Mother stops, says Tanjiro can't carry if tired. In town, Tanjiro chats friendly, helps errands. Afternoon spent, heads home but stopped by Saburo. Insists stay overnight, warns mountain dangers. Though declining, Saburo persuades, emphasizing night demons. Tanjiro relents, listens to demon tales, falling asleep. Next day returning, finds Nezuko wounded, unconscious, shielding Rakuta in snow. Despairing, realizes family massacred except Nezuko. Carrying her to nearest doctor, discovers she's demonized, attacks him. Tanjiro struggles against her strength, barely blocking with axe handle. As Nezuko grows, overwhelming, Tanjiro silently apologizes family for final sufferings, begs her retain humanity. Hearing, Nezuko cries, interrupted by Giyu Tomioka attacking Nezuko from behind. Tanjiro shoves her aside. Giyu, surprised, asks why protect demon. Desperate, Tanjiro says sister. Doubting frenzied Nezuko, Giyu separates. This starts Tanjiro's journey training to become Slayer, while Nezuko sleeps 2 years. In 1913, Kyojuro Rengoku's side story, Earning Flame Hashira, begins with Muzan's demon-devouring Slayer. Shifts to Kyojuro and Mitsuri training, Senjuro watching. Revealed Kyojuro trained Mitsuri pre-final selection, gave uniform. Crow arrives for Hashira meeting. Father Shinjuro then flame Hashira. Kyojuro asks attend, but Shinjuro alcoholic, unmotivated, hostile to Hashira. Tells Kyojuro he'll never amount much. Kyojuro attends instead. Sanemi notices, threatens, but Kyojuro assesses Hashira, awed by aura. Ubuyashiki reveals invited for Shinjuro update. Kyojuro explains post-Ruka's death, no fighting will, home drinking. Hashira realize need help but useless drunk. Kyojuro boldly declares he'll become Flame Hashira. Sanemi attacks. Kyojuro asks why not fight back, Slayers fighting forbidden. Endures Sanemi's assault, impressing Tenjin. Ubuyashiki tasks slay 12 Kizuki member for Hashira. Mission Central Tokyo, supported by Slayers including Mitsuri. Sudden bomb explodes building. Demon appears, grazes Mitsuri. Kyojuro uses first form on demon, who mistakes for father. Kyojuro denies knowing. Another bomb opposite direction. Demon reveals guns from body, blood demon art. After skirmish, Kyojuro pierces neck with fourth form. Demon detonates bomb. Mitsuri distracted opposite, attacked by regenerating demon. Escaped explosion via regeneration, aims gun at Mitsuri. Kyojuro rises bloodied, uses fifth form. Demon unleashes true art, night howling wolf robbery, wolves with mouth guns. Kyojuro defeats, approaching flashback demon versus Shinjuro slashing relentlessly. Fearing demon sees Kyojuro mirrors father. Demon's trump, minigun assault. Kyojuro endures. Demon final form, giant wolf names Harrow, vows kill. Clashing pure strength, Kyojuro defeats with ninth form. Victorious, invited Hashira meeting, becomes Flame Hashira. In 1913, Mitsuri Kanroji's past journey to love Hashira. As child, unique muscle structure shocks even strong mother. Grows eating abnormally much, hair colored from Sakura mochi excess, deemed freak, fails arranged marriage at 17. Post-rejection, dyes hair black, feigns weakness, eats normally to blend, negatively impacting health. After adjustments, approached by potential partner. Doubts faking self long-term. Partner leaves. Meets Kagaya Ubuyashiki, urges abandon normalcy, embrace true self, strength a gift. So, joins Core, uses extraordinary abilities to rise Hashira. In Core, seeks stronger husband to marry. Fails except fellow Hashira, stronger, skilled than rest. Works with Kyojuro, in battle, develops love breathing, becomes love Hashira via incredible abilities. After Mitsuri Hashira, 1 year later, May 1915, next final selection for potential slayers. Tanjiro's 2-year grueling training, slicing boulder under Sabito's spirit guidance. Arrives Mount Fujikasen, gathers with candidates. Black-haired boy, white-haired girl explain demons hate wisteria, abundant here. Beyond no wisteria, captured demons roam. Challenge, survive 7 days. Determined, Tanjiro, others advance. 2 demons attack Tanjiro. He smells opening thread dodging, seizes to behead both single strike. Urokodaki gave special Nichiren sword, beheading disintegrates body, prevents regeneration. Tanjiro smells rotting praying for slain demons' souls. Approaching source finds candidate fleeing massive multi-armed demon. Demon tries kill. Tanjiro acts, uses water-breathing second form, water wheel saving boy. Demon recognizes Urokodaki's pupil via fox mask. Asks current era to gauge captivity. Learning 47 years since Urokodaki captured during Edo. Enraged. Candidate denies possible. Demon retort survived. Killed 50, including 13 Urokodaki pupils, hinting Sabito Makomo. Implies Tanjiro 14th. Tanjiro recalls Urokodaki, demon strength proportional humans eaten. Notes, scent sense, evolved, detect power via rotting smell, explaining earlier odor. As demon describes killing Sabito Makomo, Tanjiro heaves. Enraged, charges slicing arms but punched a tree. Unconscious, hears deceased sibling's wake call, regains consciousness dodging fierce attack. Countering, slices more arms but realizes endless regrowth. Suddenly leaps high, smelling underground arm. Airborne, demon capitalizes, Tanjiro headbutts defense, rolls forward positioning for head. Uses water-breathing first form, water surface / beheads. Contrary demon's belief, Tanjiro disdain, young slayer pities, holds hand as body disintegrates. Praise God prevent demon rebirth. Tells self Urokodaki's slain pupils can rest. 7th morning, Tanjiro 3 survivors congratulated. 1 aloof, 1 traumatized. Last demands official Nichiren swords. Initial test, children introduce core uniforms. Ranking. Lowest to highest. Survivors start lowest. Crows monitor new slayers for communication. 1 perches Tanjiro. Impatient for sword, survivor Genya Shinazugawa assaults speaker Kanata Ubuyashiki. Tanjiro grabs arm demanding calm. Genya resists. Tanjiro breaks arm. Later, Tanjiro descends Fujikasane, wave of fatigue. Body aches from ordeal, new uniform heavy. Tormented missing chance question demons pre-kill for reverting method. Weary, dirty, bandaged, using stick crutch, returns Urokodaki's. Hearing front door crash, Nezuko emerges, awake after long sleep. Tanjiro approaches but collapses exhaustion. Nezuko supports, hugs tightly, Tanjiro cries relief. Tender moment, Urokodaki appears, embraces both crying joy Tanjiro alive. 15 days later, Tanjiro sees house entrance with man in large bamboo hat, wind chimes obscuring face. Man introduces as Haganezuka, forged Tanjiro's sword. Tanjiro invites tea, ignored, Haganezuka sits ground unwrapping Nichiren. Explains forging origins. Tanjiro concerned dirt on clothes, ignored. Haganezuka reveals Hyoriko mask like Urokodaki's. Noting Tanjiro's red hair eyes, calls child of brightness, confusing. Inside explains blade color changes post-draw. With traits might see bright red. Tanjiro draws, turns black, disappointing Haganezuka. Urokodaki notes never seen black. Haganezuka tackles blaming no red sight. Crow assigns first mission demon hunt. January 1915, Tanjiro's first mission versa Swamp Demon. Equips standard uniform under Hori. Sakanji explains fabric breathable, moisture fire resistant, withstands low-level demon fangs, claws. For Black Nichiren, little info as few users implies short survival. Tanjiro dismisses, he'll restore Nezuko regardless color. For ease, Urokodaki gives large box for Nezuko daytime rest. Handcrafted lightweight cloud mist pine, rock lacquer coated for durability. Theorizes, Nezuko sleeps recovering energy versus eating humans. Tanjiro, grateful, guides Nezuko in. Pre-journey, Urokodaki adjusts clothes, bids farewell. Tanjiro arrives town hearing young girl's nightly disappearances, meets Kazumi, present for fiancée Satoko's vanishing. Leads to spot, Tanjiro detects demon scent. Night, tracks scent, confronts swamp demon splitting self. Summarizing, Tanjiro defeats, demands Muzan location. Fearing refuses. Swamp demon regenerates arm-grabbing Tanjiro. He beheads, ends it. Early May 1915, Tanjiro Nezuko to Asakusa next mission. Tanjiro smells family killer. Tracks to Muzan, who causes chaos, turning civilian demonic distracting Tanjiro. Muzan leaves recalling Tanjiro's Hanafuda earrings. Tamayo Yushiro debut. Tamayo uses art-distracting police to speak Tanjiro. Tanjiro, Nezuko to Tamayo's mansion aided Yushiro. Tamayo explains escaping Muzan's curse, altering body no human flesh reliance. Yushiro Tamayo survive blood drinks. Muzan orders demons Susamaru Yahaba hunt kill Hanafuda boy. Invade Tamayo's. Through willpower ability, Nezuko Tanjiro hold, Tamayo finishing blows. Descend basement pre-dawn, Nezuko hugging Tamayo, petting Yushiro. Crow assigns next, they depart. Around late February, early March 1915, Tanjiro meets closest friends Zenitsu Inosuke. En route mission, encounters yellow-haired boy harassing girl. Intervenes, learns Zenitsu fellow slayer. Both assigned mansion in woods. Meet terrified kids Shoichi Teruko, brother taken by monster inside. Zenitsu hears Tsuzumi drums growing louder until someone ejected mansion, seemingly dead. Kids confirm not brother. Tanjiro leaves Nezuko boxed outside with them, advises stay out. Frightened by box scratches, they enter anyway. Drum demon appears? Tanjiro grasps art, alters room positions, rotations per Tsuzumi beat on body. Inosuke arrives, drawn to slay. Ensues Tanjiro finding brother Kiyoshi, defeating drum demon. Reveals Zenitsu's sleep ability. Defeats another demon single slash. Arc ends Zenitsu protecting box. Trio bonding recovering at Hot Spring. Around May 1915, infamous Natagumo Mountain arc begins. Trio tasked eliminate Spider Demon family, including Lower Moon 5 Rui. Tanjiro slays Mother Spider. Soon he and Inosuke face Father Spider. Tanjiro flung deep forest, leaving one-on-one Inosuke versus Father. Inosuke struggles damaging. Tomioka arrives, easily slays, binds noisy Inosuke. Meanwhile, Zenitsu faces Sun Spider. Terrified, climbs tree fainting, but hell for demon. Overwhelms defeats in sleep. Poisoned, paralyzed, saved by insect Hashira Shinobu Kocho. Tanjiro's battle versus Lower Moon 5 Rui, first facing such power. One-sided, but Tanjiro awakens Hinokami Kagura first time. Rui binds Nezuko with threads, insufficient hold. Nezuko uses flames, destroying threads, while Tanjiro near beheads Rui with Hinokami. Using threads, Rui reattaches. Tanjiro believes victory until Tomioka appears, slays Lower Moon 5 seconds with 11th form, dead calm. However, Tanjiro Nezuko summoned Hashira meeting discuss Nezuko's nature, if allowed live as demon. Keeping demons alive forbidden, most Hashira oppose. Sanemi tests Tanjiro stabbing Nezuko's box. Surprisingly, Tanjiro headbutts Sanemi. Ubuyashiki accepts, permits Nezuko live. Tanjiro Inosuke Zenitsu Nezuko to Butterfly Mansion recover under Shinobu. Between March-April, Tanjiro Inosuke Zenitsu recover, train under girls. Hone breathing, fully heal. Tanjiro meets Kanaotsuyuri befriends. Around April 1915, one saddest arcs Mugen train. Trio next mission to train encounter Flame Hashira Kyojuro Rengoku tasked slay mysterious train infiltrating demon. Muzan gives Enmu more blood, hunt Hanafuda boy. Turns Enmu's art, manipulates most passengers into dream state for kills. Enmu exploits innocence forcing kill protagonists asleep. Access dreams, permanent death. Overcome awaken all, situation worsens. Kyojuro solo saves passengers while Tanjiro Inosuke defeat Enmu. All passengers rescued, Tanjiro near death, Upper Moon 3 Akaza appears. Directly confronts Kyojuro, sees potential, offers demonhood. Recognizes strength, for Upper 3, Akaza struggles till end. Sadly costs Kyojuro's life, Akaza escapes fearing sunlight. Akaza meets Muzan post, stern talk leaving him trembling. Slayers arrive, Kyojuro's death relayed remaining Hashira. Around April-July, Tanjiro Inosuke Zenitsu recovery time post-Enmu at Butterfly Mansion. Resume training. Tenjin appears taking girls' mission. Rescue wives from Red Light District, slay mysterious demon. Trio takes instead, avoiding girls' danger, now cross-dress working with sound Hashira. Around July-August 1915, Entertainment District Arca. Tanjiro Inosuke Zenitsu infiltrate different brothels. Unfortunately for Zenitsu, meets Daki, captured. Daki realizes coarse infiltration, kills eats enemies. Daki confronts Tanjiro, he slices Obi with Hinokami Kagura. Surprises Daki as Obi uncuttable. Attacks flinging Tanjiro disadvantaged. Luckily, Inosuke intervenes, attempts behead Daki. Now body left in Daki's food storage, turns Obi. Disadvantaged, Nezuko appears behind Daki. Kicks off head chunk, uses flames burning Daki. As Daki nears fatal blow, Tengen decapitates. Not end, brother Gyutaro emerges body. Spectacular battle sound Hashira versus Upper 6. Zenitsu rejoins Trio versus Daki, while Tengen versus Gyutaro? Outcome. Both Daki, Gyutaro beheaded. Trio, Tengen critically injured. Nezuko's flames heal. Pre-sunrise, all unconscious from wounds. Tanjiro comas 2 months at Butterfly Mansion. As Tanjiro awakes post-coma, now October 1915. Swordsmith Village arc begins with famed Upper Moon's meeting. Akaza brawls Doma, Kokushibo intervenes, instilling fear in Upper 3. Muzan announces too lenient, pressures Upper Moons over Gyutaro's death. Tanjiro awakens, but sword destroyed. Requests visit Sword Forging Village for repair. Permitted, blindfolded by Kakushi unknowing location. Meets village chief. Explains Hotaru, Tanjiro's smith, fled raging. Chief says does since young tantrums. Kotetsu apprentice tours Tanjiro. Encounters Mitsuri Genya. Genya tells don't talk. Mitsuri proud defeating Upper Moon. Reveals village secret for strength. Next morning, meets Mist Hashira Muichiro Tokido Forest. Sees Kotetsu arguing won't give key. Tanjiro learns key battles mechanical doll ancestor made, Yoriichi Type 0. Kotetsu fears destruction versus Muichiro is old. Allows Tanjiro train, becomes stronger than Muichiro, dislikes him. Tanjiro starts, defeated instantly. Days training, adapts. Overturns doll, inside finds sword. Hotaru appears, repairs Tanjiro's. Night, empty pot outside, Upper 5 Gyoko infiltrates village plus Upper 4 Hantengu. While Tanjiro Muichiro talk, ugly old man enters room. Muichiro senses danger, attacks, but Hantengu's unique art splits 4 clones. Genya joins blasting one. Muichiro flung forest faces Gyoko, but trapped water prison. Meanwhile, Tanjiro vs. Hantengu clone. Through Muzan's memory, see Yoriichi reflection in Tanjiro. Hantengu clones defeated, similarly Gyoko as Muichiro escapes prison, ending him. He awakens Mark with Mitsuri too. Tanjiro keen scent successfully slays Hantengu. Dawn nearing, panic shelter Nezuko, but too late. Miraculously, Nezuko first demon immune to sunlight. Muzan child form appears, thrilled finally demon conquered sun. Around November 1915, Hashira training arc begins. Purpose, other Hashira awaken marks, first since Golden Generation. Commence training, calm before storm as upper moons appear frequently, meaning Muzan anytime. Tamayo invited Butterfly Mansion, shocking her. During Tamayo Shinobu develops serum potentially ending Muzan upper moons. Soul, training mostly smooth for protagonists, Muzan visits dying Ubuyashiki. Ubuyashiki mocks Muzan with taunts enraging him. Crows sent all nearby Hashira slayers, attack at Ubuyashiki Mansion. Demon Slayer's final arc around early December 1915, Hashira rush Ubuyashiki Mansion, find explosion. Muzan realizes Ubuyashiki self-detonated with spikes slowing regeneration. Tamayo attacks, traps larger spikes. Himejima arrives, assaults Muzan. Other Hashira arrive. Sink breaths. Luckily for Muzan, Infinity Castle appears below, sucking, separating all. First final arc battle, Shinobu vs. Doma. Finding Doma eating young girls, he recognizes Haori, regrets not eating Sister Kane pre-sunrise. Insect Hashira swiftly attacks with insect breathing, dance of the bee, true flutter, powerful stab right eye. Impresses Doma, couldn't block timely. Unleashes blood demon art, frozen lotus at Shinobu. She backflips, avoiding. Initially underestimating lacking decapitation strength, excited learning poison specialty. Shinobu hopes poison kills. Disappointed Doma learned from Rui fight, neutralized making non-lethal, self-heals. Cornered as Doma develops antibodies adapting body against poison. After 5 slashes injections, fully resistant. Plus freezing art hinders breathing. Betting massive dose kill via 6 thrust attack. Shinobu strikes with insect breathing, dance of the dragonfly, compound eye hexagon, success. But simultaneously attacks her, slashing collarbone/ribs, piercing lung. Near despair, hopeless, Shinobu draws strength, recalling sister's encouragement. Prepares attack despite grievous wounds pain, strikes with insect breathing, dance of the centipede, 100-legged zigzag, stabs Doma through neck, skewering pinning ceiling. Exhausted while injured, victorious, sees Doma poisoned, seemingly die. But recovers instantly. Furious, exhausted, gravely wounded, near death, Shinobu caught falling. Doma hugs, mocks efforts waste, assures peaceful as part him, taunts last words. She curses hatefully as killed. Absorbed by Doma as Kanao arrives. Next battle, Zenitsu vs. Kaigaku reunites old brother, now demon after long. Serious-faced Zenitsu, no sleep needed, slays new upper 6. Next, Tanjiro Tomioka vs. Akaza. Traversing Infinity Castle upper 3. Akaza appears. Advances. Tanjiro dodges punch, uses Hinokami Kagura, burning bones, summer sun, severing arm with effort. Recovering, Akaza attempts behead Tanjiro punch. Dodges, counters with Hinokami Kagura, fake rainbow, long facial cut. Watching, Tomioka amazed Tanjiro's sudden progress, Hashira level. Recalling Kyojuro's words, Tanjiro not weak, Akaza accepts, activates technique development, destructive death, compass needle, signaling true battle. Tomioka joins instantly with water-breathing third form flowing dance. Akaza impressed, 50 years since Water Hashira fight. Uses destructive death. Disorder. Punch barrage shockwaves. Tomioka nullifies creatively with water breathing. 11th form. Dead calm. Akaza notes unseen by prior water Hashira. As Tanjiro attacks behind with Hinokami Kagura, Burning Sun, Akaza appears rear attempting sever arm. But Tomioka severs attacking hand with water-breathing second form water wheel. Tanjiro trips Akaza with Hinokami Kagura, flame dance to legs. Countered by destructive death leg type crown splitter. Though blocking, Tanjiro coughs blood. Akaza continues versus Tomioka, impressed swordsmanship. Asks name refused. Says will ask repeatedly, kicks with destructive death, leg type, explosive flurry sending through walls infinity castle section. Learns from Tanjiro yelling as blown away. Tanjiro, Akaza clash with Hinokami Kagura, clear blue sky and destructive death air type. Akaza praises progress, says Kyojuro did great, pleased death. Enrages Tanjiro. Akaza shares philosophy hating weak, desiring elimination. Tanjiro counters even Akaza child once, helped. Strong help weak, won't let Akaza away. Words stir Akaza, uneasy memories of Koyuki saying similar. Dismisses hallucination. Annoyed, calls Tanjiro irritating, uses destructive death, annihilation type, 10,000 glittering leaves willow, much faster. Tanjiro dodges. Surprises, kicks with destructive death, leg type, flying planet 1,000 wheels making cough more blood. Compares Akaza's accuracy magnetic compass, deduces using techniques words. Throws another kick. Tanjiro attacks with Hinokami Kagura. Sun Halo Dragon, head dance. Akaza evades but significant neck chunk slashed, astonished how... Tanjiro uses Hinokami Kagura. Sword clamped Akaza's hands, attempting snap. Tanjiro headbutts, kicks, loosening grip. Unmoved, but luckily Tomioka severs hand, enraged prior fatal kick. Tomioka's senses awaken, Mark appears. Easily dodges punch shockwave, swift slash grazing Akaza's neck slightly. Demon acknowledges speed increase as Tomioka surprises with water breathing, 4th form, striking tide slicing right arm vertically. Tanjiro notes Akaza matching Tomioka's speed, wonders attack's precision. Suddenly recalls Akaza Inosuke words. Latter explains sensing killing intent, can't detect behind without. Meanwhile, Tomioka Akaza evenly matched. Akaza fully adapted Tomioka's speed. Tanjiro attempts Hinokami Kagura. Akaza attempts reverse punch. Tanjiro dodges. Seizing, Tomioka attacks upper moon. Tanjiro grasps Akaza's truth. As Tomioka-Akaza battle intensifies, Tanjiro recalls Father Tanjiro explaining precise breathing movements, transparent world achievable mind blank. Demonstrates killing bear sans killing intent, shutting senses focusing evasion. Akaza Tomioka fiercely exchange. Water Hashira used all forms. Akaza declares end, amazed longevity. As Tomioka prepares counter demon punch, Akaza snaps sword with technique development, destructive death, crush. Attempts punch through. Arm severed by Tanjiro entering transparent world. Demon notes changes, tries kill youth. Tomioka capitalizes attacking. Akaza uses strongest. Technique development, destructive death. Final form, blue-silver chaotic afterglow. Tomioka mitigates with water breathing, 11th form, dead calm. But attacks too random powerful fully neutralize, hit multiple shockwaves despite dodging some. Meanwhile, Tanjiro sees everything slow motion transparent world. Akaza can't detect Tanjiro behind. Tomioka hopes neck aim immediately. But Tanjiro yells calling demon. Akaza turns attacking. Tanjiro dodges. Akaza can't detect fighting spirit via compass. Tanjiro beheads with Hinokami Kagura, setting sun transformation. Akaza bewildered no fighting spirit? Like fighting plant. Acknowledges Tanjiro surpassed speed. realizes supreme territory nothing but transparent world selfless state. Attempts reattach head, Tomioka stabs with broken sword separating. Head disintegrates but body fights on, using technique development, destructive death, compass needle while head regenerates. Tanjiro dodges chops but kicked aside. Protagonist tries rise fight, battle strain exhaustion knocks unconscious. Tomioka protects with water breathing, fourth form, striking tide, slashing headless body multiple areas, demon regenerates faster. Exchange blows. Though gravely wounded, Tomioka focuses protecting Tanjiro, evoking Akaza's vague Koyuki memories. Advancing, stopped by tearful deceased fiancé's spirit. Koyuki begs stop. Tomioka rises despite burden not letting friend's family die like sister Sabito. Akaza, handheld by Koyuki as head continues regenerating, begins remembering strength pursuit, child demon Hakuji days. From father's death to meeting Keizo, Koyuki seeks purpose, life reason. Past memories flood. Meanwhile, Tanjiro awakes, Akaza's head half regenerated. Effort kill. Tomioka with destructive death. Tanjiro rushes blocking but sword slips, punches Akaza, self-questioning actions, regretting soiling master's precious style. Preparing technique, Tanjiro tries drag Tomioka. With grateful smile, Akaza self-uses technique, severely wounding crushing body parts. Acknowledges defeat, Tanjiro's technique magnificent, wants hell as man. Imagines father Keizo but recalls Muzan asking stronger. Begins regenerate. Stopped by Koyuki, grateful Hakuji regained memories, thanks deeds. Finding peace, Akaza disintegrates, dying as Hakuji, dutiful son, protective pupil, faithful lover. With Tanjiro Tomioka victorious, both collapse unconscious. Next, Kanao, Inosuke vs. Doma. Kanao at scene simply insults Doma till serious face. Battle, Inosuke arrives, told mother killed by Doma. Duo unleashes everything till serum weakens Doma minute by minute. Allows Inosuke, Kanao finishing blows, successfully defeating upper two. Then Mitsuri Obanai vs. Nakaim, with Yushiro's help, overcome. Simultaneously, Muichiro, Genya, Sanemi, Himejima face Muzan's strongest, Kokushibo. One-sided, Kokushibo easily overpowers. But Himejima, Sanemi intervene, all combine attacks assaulting Kokushibo conflicted by past, causing retreat, self-kill. Though could regenerate despite beheading. Final climax portion. Infinity Castle collapses, remaining Slayers face Muzan. Summarizing, Muzan becomes Demon King with back tentacles, ultimate power. Remaining Hashira like Himejima, Tomioka, Sanemi, Obanai, Mitsuri try hold. Battle major turn with Nezuko reverting normal, seeking brother. Meanwhile, Muzan, pinned by Tanjiro, becomes giant baby absorbing Tanjiro, transferring self into body. Infant Muzan son destroyed. Demon King lives in Tanjiro. Other Slayers, including Nezuko, try subdue. Luckily, Kanao approaches with serum, successfully injects. Tanjiro defeats Muzan subconsciously, overcomes, restores humanity. Demon King Muzan officially eradicated. 3 months later, May 1916, Tanjiro fully recovers post-final battle, corps disbanded. Tanjiro, Nezuko, Inosuke, Zenitsu return Tanjiro's home, end Tanjiro Kamado's journey. Over 100 years later, May 2020, descendants revealed, all live, peaceful lives impossible for ancestors. Demon Slayer ends with beautiful photo Tanjiro companions beside framed Hanafuda earrings. Fitting end, great series. We've covered Demon Slayer's entire timeline. Skipped some battle details as many summaries exist. Hope grasp time frame. Like this video? Share thoughts below. As always, like, subscribe if new. See you next video.